Maybe a few more questions just to, so that nobody is left out here. I do not want to play patsy with anybody.
Okay. Hi, sir. I'm Salima Refran of GMA7. Sir, welcome back to
Ay,
Davao.
thank you.
But, sir, 1 week na po from the Davao
Bakit nalagyan
blast.
mong bat yung welcome mo?
Medyo malungkot kasi, sir, yung tanong ko. I'm so sorry. Pero, yun nga, sir, you've been away, but have you been receiving reports of the investigation, and what do you know so far?
Investigation?
Investigation, sir, of the Davao blast, of the Rojas Night Market.
We're pursuing leads. Too early to be talking about it. I said, do not ask me questions that would telegraph the substance of what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
It's, as a matter of fact, it's a national security issue. But I said, I guarantee you, there will be a day of reckoning. There will be more because of retaliation, reprisals. But there will be maybe more blast, but there will be a day of reckoning. Bantayan ito.
Sir, sorry, this is a personal question.
Yes.
the
Nakaligo
past-
na ako. What's so personal about it?
No, sir.
Do I
The
smell good?
other day po, si Mayor Sara
Yes.
announced that she lost 2 of the triplets. She said na hindi pa daw po kayo nakakapag-usap. I'm so sorry, sir.
Maski nung una pa yan, it took her a long time to be pregnant and, you know, with the medical intervention. When somebody called me, I went to the bathroom and sa labas kasi nasa lobby kami. I cried. I cried. These are the things in life na cannot be assuaged by just, you have to heal yourself. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you for asking. Kasi sabi ko nga, the right of the people to be informed. She's a public, she's an employee of government. I'm a public employee of the national. We're just workers in government. Yes, any more questions?
Okay,
Yes.
good evening po, Mr. President. Welcome back. I'm Mark Okay from Bombo Radio Davao. Mr. President, since the Philippines has already accepted the chairmanship for 2017 ASEAN Summit, will Davao City be an ideal venue for the 2017 Leaders Summit, Mr. President?
That is a very relative question. It would depend on the security of Davao City. I would have to listen to the military and the police for an accurate assessment. We do not want any bloody thing here, I'm sure. So, but during the, I have stated my case very clearly. We are in a state of lawlessness. I do not need any additional power. If you use the word, pangtakot lang yan. I do not need it. I do not need anything. Except that you know, alam ninyo na there is lawlessness in the country, period. And I will just exercise the powers of the presidency the natural way. Law and order and stricter measures. Now, itong pinasabi kong lawlessness, kasi kailangan ko kasi, there will be some checkpoints in the highway. Alam mo kasi, ang mga tao minsan pinapagalitan yung police, some lawyers would say, this is a violation. You know, if you start to say that, and there is a state of lawlessness, you will just force our hands into it. Magduda na tuloy ako sa iyo na may tinatago ka. Eh kung sabi ka, yes. Take your time and see for yourself. Because we are, you know, trying to catch up with the guys holding the... And it will be too late just to explain So there is a Supreme Court ruling on that. But in a state of lawlessness, I feel that I have to do some extra mile of putting things in order. Of course, be stricter, and maybe the airlines could, advise the commuters for them to arrive at the airport earlier. Kasi minsan naman kasi I am not trying to offend anybody. Kasi magsabi na kalaga, departure time 5:15, dito pa sila magdating ng 5:15. By the time ang piloto nakatutok na sa dead end sa runway, so maybe a little bit earlier because there will be more searches. And I can impose that because I have to protect public. Bombs and this kind of things in our lives today, these are public interest, protect the people. Public health. When you are a victim of a blast somewhere, you would need money and hospitalization and national security reasons. Maraming involved dyan public interest. You want to keep this country peaceful. It's a job of government. But it could also become a public health issue because you would need hospitalization or amputation or anything that, the victims of the old, it could affect everybody. Dysfunctional families. Wala ng tatay. Alam mo ba nga hanggang ngayon ako pa ang gobyerno, mabutit na lang, after a long period of time, the hands of the political dito is ako pati yung anak ko. So we continued with the assistance, marami nang nag-nurse mga anak, marami nang na-engineer. But yung mga infants pa to noon, we still carry the burden of paying for their education. Nawala ang tatay nila, nawala ang nanay. So it could affect our pockets, which money intended for better use. Yan. It's a drain financially sa gobyerno. It's public health. And you consider the amputees who are walking with crutches. Hindi lang kasama na it's the most despicable and odious behavior. Hindi man sabi ko, nag-arte lang kay ganon-ganon. Well, I said, whether they believe it or not, whether it is for a pretended sentiment, I have warned our soldiers and the police. Shoot only once. And if it's finished, do not destroy the body. Do not mutilate the body. Because we cannot do that. We have to have the higher ground. If you follow them and started also to behead everybody, anak na, then I should not be in government. I belong to the slaughterhouse. Magtagtad ng karne dyan. Always we take the higher ground. Even it means something like, hindi tayo takot. I'm not afraid. I have the army. I have the armed forces. I have the police. Bakit ako matatakot? But there is certainly a set of values that we have to adapt. And one of these is that just to be civilized. Sabi ko nga sa kanila, do not go into the war or a battle kung may galit ka. Kasi dapat kung you must be cool. And that's why they are trained. Kung magpasok sila ng bakbakan dyan, tapos galit sila, then you abandon, you throw caution to the winds. And you just there, matapang ka kasi may galit ka. Adi patay ka. Anything else?
Ian Melior of Philippine News Agency.
You might want to ask me what is the agenda for next visit for any country. You'd want to ask that question?
Yes, sir.
just on the elaboration of independent foreign policy, which issues or areas, and was there an initial commitment on the common policies, and which areas?
There is no commonality of interest here. It should have, it should cover all aspects of governance and international relations. In our country, it is the president who takes care of the foreign policy. Presidente, it's in the Constitution. Akin talaga yan. And you can be very sure that this power given to me by the Constitution will be used only to promote the best interest of the Republic of the Philippines. Nothing more.
So after this, the two-day summit, sir, what will be the prospects of when Philippines hosts the 50th anniversary of ASEAN?
Well, I cannot answer your hypothetical question because it would greatly depend on the severity and what's the interest involved. But I said I can only use it, the principle behind it, to promote the best interest. If it is for the best interest of the Filipino people, I will do it. But if it does not result to anything, and maybe to the road to perdition, that's crazy.
Last question.
Last question.
From Ruth Dumandan.
Hello, Mayor. Welcome home. And I'd like to ask, Mayor, how would you assess your first foreign trip as president? And what's next? Do you receive any invitations?
I cannot assess myself before you. It would be self-serving and I would just be pulling my own chair. So let the other, you might want to, if you happen to travel abroad, you might want to ask the guys from Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and those who palakpak hardest. Well, after that, but it is not a thing to brag about. It's just saying that I am happy that I was able to do it during my first. These are the things that I can sleep soundly well tonight, thinking. I would sleep on it, thinking that the thought that I have served my country to the best, the way I can. But to end this, I have a saying. But go ahead with the last question.
Yes, Mayor. Rockstar ka nga daw eh. What's the international community wants to see from the Philippines, Mayor?
Well, I say a posture of confidence that we are able to deliver what we are obligated to. We have been known unfairly as a country that does not honor contracts. That's the popular view of the investors. There are so many contracts on the pipeline, on deck, but never used, or it was never, there was the obligations under the contracts were abandoned. This time you must have honor to do it. There's also a provision in the Constitution itself against the impairment of contracts. Kaya nagsibat yung iba noon kasi approved na ng NEDA, approved that when it reaches a certain office there. It's never implemented or ang worst pa nito is they waive the waiver of so many things in government involving huge money. Masakit yan. Accruing to the country but being waived for what? I don't know what reason. Your guess is as good as mine. So I am not a fan of the Americans in the sense that nobody shares my sentiment for the Filipino. First and last, Filipino talaga. Everybody else comes 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10, mamili na sila. Pag-agawa na lang sila. But let me quote my favorite si lawyer And he was really a politician par excellence. And I refer to Abraham Lincoln. And my favorite, actually, are his words when he said, I will do my best, my very best, because I have to serve the country. And but I cannot remember the exact words, but let me look at a lady, and I would be able to. He said, yeah, but the beginning is something like. No, I memorized it for my inauguration. Wala, nakalimutan ang agad. I do the very best I know how, the very best I can. And if the end brings me out wrong, 10 angels of God swearing I was right, it would make no difference. Still wrong. But at the end, if it brings me all right and right, then that is it. That is your reward for being right. Hanggang dyan lang. So yan lang kasi. I do the very best I know how, the very best I can, and I mean to keep doing so until the end. If the end brings me out, all right, what is said against me won't amount to anything. Total, wala nang matalo except the people. But if the end brings me out wrong, 10 angels of God swearing I was right. Wrong is wrong. So with that, I would like to thank you for being here so late. It's 2 o'clock. And I appreciate it. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, thank you so much. Good morning.
Sit down. Huwag mo nang tumalikod. Lincoln said na bumalik na ang gagong memory. Pakita kasi ng magandang babae. If I were to try to read, much lesser answer all attacks made on me, this shop, this presidency, might as well be closed for any other business. I do the very best I know how, the very best I can. If I have to answer all attacks, wala na akong gawin. Sirahan ko na lang yung opisina. If I were to try to read, much less answer all attacks made on me, this shop, the presidency, might as well be closed for any other business except to answer. I do the very best I know how, the very best I can, and I mean to keep doing so until the end. If the end brings me out all right, what is said against me won't amount to anything. But if the end brings me out wrong, 10 angels of God swearing I was right would make no difference. Mali is mali. But if they are wrong in criticizing, you are paid to suffer. That's why you are paid. Now I realize the presidency, well, this is really motivates me to go on. Were it not for my love of country, matagal na ako nagsabi, it's yours. Inyo na. Pagod na ako. Pagod na talaga. But you know, what impels me, motivates me is my love for country and the serious problem of drugs. 3,700,000 is not a joke. So instead of criticizing me or tumulong ka na lang dito and observe protocol. You know, when I was mayor, it's good. I was just an insignificant player in the national life. There are so many cities you can choose where to pick a fight. But as president is only one. And when you are just a, you know, I mean, a rapporteur or whatever, an advisor, national security, and you begin to expose statements. That is not good. That is not good. what if he will try to do the same? I said, if this president is... But I said, it will remain a secret unless there's a footage of it. But I saw none at all. But the delegates really were very happy. And I am happy that I said it publicly, though in a very limited crowd. Maraming salamat po.